So the simple reality is we don't get to spend as much time out in the water as we would like. So when we are fishing, we don't want to spend all our time trying to figure out where they are, what they're biting on. We want to spend our time catching fish. So today, I'm going to break down 3 different baits to help you get out in the water and maximize your time so that you can cover a lot of water, but also you can efficiently cover the different situations you come around so you can not only figure out where the fish are, but what they're biting on as quickly as possible. So sit back and relax. I'm Travis Moran, and we're going to be breaking down some fishy basics. Let's get right into it. First up is a Lipless Crankbait, one of my all-time favorites, rigged up on 17-pound fluorocarbon and a moderate fast action rod. So I've got a lot of taper in that rod to really be able to cast this long distances and be able to fight the fish the way I need to with a Lipless Crankbait. Next up is a 9/16 ounce jig by V&M Baits called the Pacemaker. Then I've got a Gary Yamamoto Cowboy in a green pumpkin color as a trailer, 50-pound braid, and a nice stout rod. A lot of good things I can do with this very versatile setup. Lastly, you gotta have a finesse setup. So I've got the Mustad 1/8 ounce wacky jig head paired up on the original baby, the OG Gary Yamamoto 5-inch Cinco in the green pumpkin color, 30-pound braid with a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader paired up with the hybrid stick. This is a great all-around rod, 7'2", moderate fast action. What makes a Lipless Crankbait so versatile is the different water depths, the different action you can give it. Just a cast out and steady retrieve, you're gonna catch fish. But if you speed up the retrieve or you slow it down, you can make that bait run shallower or deeper to target different water columns to figure out, to get down to where those fish are. But then on top of that, you can give that bait different action like I'm doing right now. You can work it almost like a jig where you let it go all the way to the bottom and you give it, oh, and I'm hooked up already. There we go. You guys see I wasn't even moving it. I had hopped it a couple times and then that fish actually grabbed it right off the bottom. So it looked like some kind of dying bait fish. Here we go. Oh, and look at this thing. There we go. Come on, buddy, you coming in here? As that's a great example of what this lipless is possible, what this lipless is capable of. All right, so this jig has a nice weed guard. So I'm really able to flip this and skip it under tree limbs and things into that heavy stuff where these fish may be hiding. And that 9/16 ounce head is heavy enough that if I'm flipping over limbs and stuff, it's heavy enough that it's gonna pull that bait down there and get to where those fish are underneath there. Then, but now talking about open water, this jig I can also just cast out in the open. That head brings it all the way down there, and I can really work this bait along the bottom in open water, feeling out for any hard bottom down there or some tree limbs and things like that. All right, for the finesse rig, the fish usually hit it on the fall. So you cast over to where your target is, then you let that bait sink all the way down to the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, you can let it sit for a second or two to see if you get bit. And then what I do is I just give it a little tap, 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 get it back up off the bottom, and then let it sink all the way back down. And get those little legs twitching. So when I lift it up, I'm twitch, 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 twitch. That's basically to get the fish's attention. Then when I let it sink, as it sinks, those little legs slowly wobble back and forth, and that's usually what gets that fish to eat. Okay, now that we've discussed the different baits, let me show you why we selected these. First, if you look down in front of me along the bank, there's so much cover. And with this Lipless Crankbait, I can make long casts along the edge of it, and I can work it a lot of different ways. I can hop it, I can burn it, and I can look for active bass that are out feeding in front of this stuff. It's a great bait that I can fish a lot of different ways as I'm making my way down the lake. But the Lipless Crankbait's only good for fishing the edge quickly. As I look in here, there's some fantastic targets for bass to be up under and in this thick stuff waiting to ambush things, and I can't throw that Lipless Crankbait in there. With all those treble hooks, you're gonna snag up. That's where this jig is the perfect tool because it's weedless, it's got a nice heavy head on it. I can really flip into these great targets, and if I get bit, I've got that 50-pound braid, which I can really set the hook hard and pull that fish out and not worry about it snapping off. Yes. Holy cow. That's a good jig fish right there. Look at that. All right, lastly is this wacky rig Cinco. This is great for those areas when you realize there is some fish in a specific spot and you want to slow down, fish a little bit more thoroughly, or if you just see a great target that you know there's got to be a fish on there and you want to throw your best high percentage bait. That's gonna be this Wacky Rig Cinco. It's got that real natural looking fall. You can keep it in that strike zone for a lot longer. Usually you're gonna be able to get active fish to hit it, but this is the bait you're gonna get those fish that are sluggish, not really feeding, to actually react to this too, because it's just an easy meal. Guys, having the right tool for the right situations is what bass fishing is all about. And if you're trying to figure out a lake, whether it's for the first time or figure out what's going on that season, having some versatile lures so you can cover water fast, but also thoroughly, being able to have the right bait to make the right cast is so important. And that lipless, being able to make long casts and vary the retrieves, and that jig, you're able to go up real shallow or even fish deep structure. And then lastly, you're able to clean house with that finesse Wacky Rig Cinco. You can't go wrong with a versatile setup like that. Anyway, guys, I'm Travis Moran with Lucky Tackle Box. We're back to doing videos, so hopefully you're happy. If you are excited about that, throw the thumbs up below, show your support. Also leave a comment. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see. Anyway, guys, I'm excited to be back. You guys wanted me to do more shore videos, more pond boat videos, more kayak videos. So this is video numero uno. There's going to be plenty more. I will catch you out on the water.